Well, I screwed up the initial stream, so the original link is not working, but that's all right. Hey, you found me. How's it going, Jesse? Where are you joining from? I'm good, man. I'm just traveling and working from Panera today. So I thought maybe some other people would like to work with me. Sometimes I get kind of lonely on the road, um, so I thought some of my favorite productivity YouTubers were starting to do this like co-working thing. So I thought that was kind of a cool idea. I feel like some of us digital people might appreciate having just knowing that other people are kind of like working at the same time. So cool. Close to Florida. I actually spent a lot of time in Florida this winter. We were um, basically all over. Went to Key West, went to Miami, over to Orlando, spent some time in the Everglades. Uh, didn't make it to Georgia though, unless we just kind of like passed through. I don't remember, but yeah. What are you working on right now? Trying to figure out how to plug in my laptop. Oh, Cocoa Beach, yeah, I've been there. I took a road trip with two of my friends when I was back in college. We went down to Cocoa Beach from Michigan, so we like drove down the East Coast and went to like New York and Washington D.C. and um, ended up in Cocoa Beach. It's cool. Trying to get your feet wet. That's cool. What have you been looking into so far? Yeah, it is a long drive. It was like, it was actually a prototype of what I'm doing now, which is living in a vehicle. Me and my buddies just kind of slept in the back of one of my friends' Jeep Cherokee. So it was cool though. It started the Nomad wheels turning back then for me, of being like, because my friend, I didn't know I was going to be into internet marketing or anything. I had this one friend who was doing it. He was working for a bigger company, and I remember he bought this like really expensive, crazy wireless internet thing that he like put on the top of his car, and I thought that was so cool. Like he could work from his laptop. We would just drive around during the day, and he'd be working. Um, and he was working for an internet marketing company in the concealed carry niche, and we were just like college kids, but he was doing really well already at like 19 because he was working for this company, and um, I just thought that was really cool. I was always like inspired by that, and he's actually the one that got me into internet marketing. Initially I was like his assistant. So anyways, that trip kind of kicked it off for me. I saw him working from his laptop in the back of the car while we were driving, and I was like, that's so cool. I wish I could do that, and turns out I do. War driving. I'm actually familiar with that term from watching nerdy hacker videos back in the early 2000s, where you drive around and like steal people's Wi-Fi or whatever. Now it's pretty easy. Everybody's got a phone, and I can just, if there isn't Wi-Fi around, I can usually use a hotspot on my phone to get internet. But yeah, war driving. I remember watching Kevin Rose from Dig.com, Dig Nation. Now he's like a crypto investor, and he works for Google. He's a big startup investor guy, but I watched a lot of his early content, and he did a couple of videos on war driving. I thought it was really cool. Watched a lot of PPC videos and others videos on PPC. So that's kind of the business model that you're kind of most interested in. I'm guessing affiliate marketing, or what am I doing these days? Yeah, personal wise, I'm traveling the country with my girlfriend, and we are just kind of seeing as many places as we can. And professionally, I'm working with, still doing internet marketing. I've got a client that I work with who's a good friend of mine, and we, do paid ads, doing like Google ads for him. And then for myself, I'm doing affiliate marketing. Primarily this year, I'm focusing on an SEO strategy for my friend Greg Jeffries. That's kind of like all I've been focusing on this year. And I do have some PPC campaigns as well that are kind of pretty passive, but I've been focusing on growing this SEO thing. So his course is really awesome. If you don't know where to start, I would pretty highly recommend that. That's a good place. But it's kind of, well, I don't know. He's doing some new stuff this week, actually, some new courses and stuff, or pricing and everything for his course. So I'm not sure how it ends up being, but I know that the content is awesome, and it's kind of a strategy I've never heard anybody talk about before. So I've been doing that. And yeah, so affiliate marketing is one income stream. I don't really do much YouTube, as you can tell. I had, some confidence issues a couple of years ago, just kind of like as everything was falling apart. I, personally kind of had some struggles too. So I just put YouTube on the back burner. But so yeah, mostly affiliate marketing through SEO. And then I've got some PPC affiliate campaigns, and then I do client work with PPC. That's about it. Work from coffee shops, and it's pretty awesome, actually. Oh, I've been learning programming lately, so that's something I've always wanted to do, but never really gave myself permission to pursue. So that's amazing. If you're interested in programming at all, plus combining it with like SEO and even PPC is like pretty insane. So, but yeah, I know the phase though when you're kind of just like looking around and trying to decide what to do. There's so much content, especially out there on YouTube. Just trying to decide. Like, I watch a lot of the new wave of, I guess, gurus or whatever on YouTube, and I don't know, I think they're just primarily like YouTube content creators, so they always have to come up with new strategies, and it's just hard. I think it's hard for people to know where to start, because they're all, in my experience, any of the strategies will work if you keep with them and like figure out how they really do work behind the scenes. You can get anything to work, but there's always like a trade-off. Like, with PPC, the trade-off is you have to invest money to figure out results. So that can be hard, when you're starting out, if you don't have, you know, if you don't have like a job that gives you like a lot of money to play with, or if you don't have um, other income streams, then starting out with PPC can be pretty tough. But the advantage is you get the results quickly. Whereas like this SEO strategy, you can get started really cheap, and you have to do a lot of testing just like PPC, but it's not as expensive. It's like smaller testing amounts, and when it works, it provides a huge return, but you got to be patient. So PPC is kind of faster, but you might spend a lot of money really fast. SEO takes longer, but it's a lot more. Um, what are your thoughts on PPC these days versus other markets like TikTok and push ads? I've never done push ads. I'm not really sure how those work at all. I mean, I know what they are, but um, I think they still work. Um, TikTok, yeah, I made a couple TikTok videos, and then I was like, um, if you want to know, if you want to do the TikTok thing, there's a guy named Michael Day. Have you heard of him or seen his videos yet? He's got some really good, basically like a very simple TikTok organic strategy where it doesn't cost any money or anything. He just shows you how to create a bunch of TikTok accounts, and then you just put out these quick little videos that um, you know they just like film your face for a few seconds or whatever. So I think that strategy is really, really good. I personally don't really want to do it because I don't want to show my face. Um, but if you're cool with it, so he uses this offer called multiple income funnel, which is like a make money online kind of thing. And basically just makes TikToks every day that are like 20, 30 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever. And then check out his videos, Michael Day. And he you just use it to promote this one offer. You're just like, hey, this is how 100 people a day are. Yeah, Michael Day, you spelled it correctly. He's on YouTube. Um, so yeah, if you wanted to start from like nothing and you're cool with putting your face on TikTok videos, yeah, Michael Day. Let me see if I can find a link. This guy. Yeah, he's got the make money online niche. So I personally don't love putting my name or face on products like that. I mean, it's everybody's personal decision, so, but yeah, I think it's a really good strategy. I tried it for like a week or two, and basically the strategy is you just create a bunch of TikTok videos every day, and eventually some of them will start picking up. One of them will go off, and you link them all back to one link, which goes to your multiple income funnel, and then that like kind of recruits people into the funnel. So yeah, um, push ads, like I said, I've never done them, but I think they're probably good for like starting out because your budget. So like all paid ads is the same strategy. It's always the same. It's just whatever budget you can afford, you just test until you find a little stream of profit, and then you scale it up. That's like the whole paid ads thing. So it just depends. Like every traffic source is just a little different. So with Facebook, you're testing like audiences against each other. You're like, oh, the people who opted in, you know, are working really well, or the people who are interested in this TV show are working really well. Um, With Google ads or Bing ads, you're testing keywords. So you're like, ooh, people who click on this keyword and search for this, they convert really well. And you're finding out which of those works, and then you kind of turn down all the rest of the stuff and either keep those running or turn them off or whatever. So with push ads, I'm guessing it's by publisher. So it'd be like when they show ads on this website or these types of websites, it performs better. So it's the same game though. You're gonna have to spend money to test a whole bunch of things, and every single time you test a whole bunch of things, some of those things necessarily have to work better than all the other things, right? So if you test 100 keywords, 5 of those keywords are going to work better than the other 95. And so then you can go, okay, drop the 95, work these 5. And same with testing offers. If you test 30 offers, well, 2 of them are going to work better than the other 28. So you can focus on those, and then you work on the traffic. Hope that makes sense. So that's kind of an overview of paid traffic stuff. And as you switch from traffic source, you're just going to be testing different stuff. So if you're on Snapchat, you're going to test different placements, like, or age groups or demographics. Like, you're going to test it 1 to women, 1 to men, or you know that the product is geared aimed towards women, so you don't even bother with men. And you test 18 to 25 versus 25 to 35 versus 35 to 45. And out of those 3, one of them is going to work better. So then you drop 2 and you stick with, okay, 18 to 35 is like the closest to profit. It's not profitable yet, or maybe you get lucky and it is, but you probably, most of the time, you don't just hit a home run right away. But there's always a chunk of that test that does better. So that's where you first, that's your first thing to follow up on. Like, you test a bunch of stuff, you take a handful of things that works best, and then you build on that. So, but yeah, what I think I understand of push ads though is that those tests will be smaller because the traffic is kind of junky, so they sell it for really cheap. So you might get like 1,000 people for 10 cents or something. Sorry, excuse me. So you get to test, you get to do the process of testing ads, but at a cheaper cost. It's kind of like with SEO. Like, I'm testing lots of different offers, but my cost of entry to test those things is way cheaper than if I'm doing PPC, because it costs like $10 for a domain, and then that domain either gets traffic or it doesn't, or the traffic converts or doesn't. But I get to test a lot more ideas faster and cheaper than usually when I'm doing PPC campaigns. I have to spend like, you might have to spend $1,000 to get good information. You might have to spend 100, 500. You never know. Or you might, sometimes it's frustrating because you'll make a sale right away and you're like, oh my God, it's working. This is going to be an amazing campaign. And then no more sales. They all dry up. So have you tried any traffic sources yet? Or yeah. Yeah, you probably won't make money at first until you test and optimize is the info most people won't tell you. Yeah. That's the bummer about all the young YouTuber people, is they're incentivized to be really sensational, and that's their job. Their job isn't to help you make the most amount of money. Their job is to create content every day. And I'm not saying what they say isn't real. It's just they can't vet every single like process that, they know that conceptually it will work, so they make content about it. And I've done this in the past too. It's like, well, I know that will work, so I can make content about it because it will work. If people do it, it will work. But they often leave out, because you're incentivized by the algorithm and by like human psychology of the people watching to leave out the boring stuff, to leave out the bummer stuff. So they'll say like, "Oh, imagine this: you spend $10 and you make 100." And I've probably done this too in the past with marketing too. It's like because sometimes that does happen. If you test those 30 things, those two actually will spend $5 and make back 100, or $5 and make back 50, or whatever. And so you focus on that, and you're like, "Well, look, this happened." And yeah. So you ran a TikTok and Facebook ad. Neither were profitable, but I didn't have tracking set up. Yeah. I've never run TikTok ads. I'm guessing you would want to do e-commerce on TikTok, or I guess probably affiliate marketing too. I haven't really seen people doing that, but that probably means there's some people making a killing right now and they're just not talking about it. Um, yeah. How deep are your pockets? Do you have like a lot of money to test, or are you um, more like beginner stage budget wise? Some people, they have like a really nice job where they have a lot of extra income, and they're like, they might have anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 a month to set aside for just testing campaigns, and they're gonna find success way faster. Like that's the name of the game. Like the faster you can test, the more tests you can run, the faster you're gonna find winners, and then you can drop all those other ones and scale your winners. But if you have a small budget, like I've had most of my career when I worked for myself, it's tougher. You gotta have some sort of insight or edge. Like you have to have an offer that converts really well, or you have to have like a lot of credit that you're willing to test out on it. But that's risky. That's really risky. You have to have confidence that the offer provider will pay you and stuff. Didn't have tracking set up. I've seen most people pushing MMO. I'm not certain what the main demographic for TikTok is. I'm not sure either. I think probably at this point, probably everybody's on TikTok in some, every group of people is on TikTok. So I think you could probably target almost anybody. Maybe not like, you know, 65 plus, I would guess. So if your product exclusively caters to seniors, they might not be on TikTok as much, but I'm sure there's still a couple million people. Um, yeah. Every time you pick a new traffic source, it's like I think it's important to not do other ones too. But but you're just looking for that edge when you first start out. You're looking for something to work, right? That's the toughest part. It's like I just want something to work, because if you see it work, then you know that you'll have the dedication to like keep growing it and stuff. 500 a month, yeah, that's a good budget for depending on what you're doing. Um, what are you just like I'll do anything that works. I just want to like figure out how this game works, or do you want to promote in a certain niche that you're interested in, or do you like the actual process of running ads? Like, is that interesting to you to like get data and like use spreadsheets and test ad copies and stuff like that? Hearing loss product, is that like a CPA, like max bounty or something? I could see that working on TikTok. So yeah, if that offer works, it could be amazing. Yeah. You know what I would do? I would just have you watched like every video there is about TikTok ads? I think that'd be worth your time. It's just like type TikTok ads into YouTube and just like spend a day just like, watching everything. Just take notes, like open an Evernote or Google Doc and just be like, okay, this person says, you know, one thing. That's good. You said you think the whole thing is cool, the whole process. I do too. I think it's fun. I think it's fun to like turn on ads and see people coming in and like see the sales and all that stuff. It's super fun, and I'm willing to learn more about analytics, about tracking pixels and spreadsheets and all that stuff that comes along with the territory. Um, as you grow, those will be supplementary skills. Um, yeah. So full time income from home, totally understand that. That's usually all of our first goal is like replace a job, which is awesome. Um, so yeah, a few recommendations. One, like I said, get everybody's perspective on TikTok ads. Like everybody from, up top people who are running ads for brands, like take notes on what they say. But then every like random person who's made a weird video, just watch it and be like, out of the 30 videos that I watched, 18 of them all talked about the weight loss niche. Maybe I should look into the weight loss niche. Or, you know, out of those 30 videos I watched, every single person said, it's going to take at least $5,000 a month to get a campaign. Or out of those 30 videos, only one of them was an affiliate marketer, but that affiliate marketer did something totally different than all the other 29. I think I should follow that affiliate marketer because I don't care about TikTok ads in general. I just want to do affiliate marketing. So you should follow that one person who's like specializing in TikTok affiliate marketing. But I like to get everybody's perspective and then I kind of make my own combination of those things, Some people will say they'll contradict each other, which is really confusing when you're in the beginning. It's like, why does this person say that you need a big budget, but this person says you need a small budget? And you have to be in the middle and think, you know, there must be that person is running big, ads for big companies. So that person probably doesn't even know about or care about what I'm doing. Um, so you just have to think, like, take in all the information and then like make your best guess based on that. Open to just about, yeah, okay. I have a degree in IT, so it's fun for me. Yeah. So I've always been like a computer nerd too. So uh, you're you're perfectly, if you're IT, you have a perfect skill set already for understanding the finer skills of traffic. Traffic can be very techy. Uh, and so as long as you're comfortable with that, then yeah, you can learn about tracking pixels. You can learn about little bits of code here and there. You can um, learn about like the tokens, and it'll all be pretty technical, and you'll do well. Uh, Another thing would be, I've never really been good at like selling my services, but if you're one of those people who doesn't mind like reaching out to people, I mean, one of the fastest ways to learn how to run ads is to run ads for another business that's already making money. That's like so easy. You will like leap way ahead. I mean, that's how I learned paid traffic initially. Was I worked for a company in the affiliate marketing world, and I thought it was cool. Our biggest affiliates were paid traffic guys, and I was like, I want to learn how to do that. But I got to play with like $100,000 budget when I was just getting started. So it was like, you get to try that's when I saw like, okay, this kind of the same system across different traffic sources. And I worked for a really high converting offer too, so it was like that piece of the equation was removed. But my point is, a lot of people don't want to learn how to do this. My client, my current client, is a good friend of mine. He's brilliant. He's a developer. He's got an amazing business, but he's just never really been interested in learning the ad side. He could. I mean, he's like I said, he's like a genius. He could figure it out in a week, but he just doesn't want to. So he hires me to do it. You know, he's got bigger fish to fry for his business. So local brick and mortar businesses, yeah, oh, yeah, those people, they desperately need any sort of marketing help. They don't understand any of it, and I mean, again, I'm not really the best at doing this, but I thought many times like how like you already just by being like in the marketing niche and knowing some of these concepts, you could bring so much value to any local business, like any any business. Because, for example, with the client I'm working with, he knows what like funnels are, but if you're a marketing nerd, you don't even really know that you're gaining all of this knowledge. It almost feels like, oh, everybody knows what a funnel is. They don't. And a lot of people always, have you worked with clients or do you work with clients? You probably know a lot of this stuff. But, they have businesses, you know, if they built a brick and mortar, they probably didn't do it by being a marketer. They might understand marketing, you know, well, but they still don't have time to do it. They need to hire somebody to do it because they have a business to run. You know, they have 100 other things every day that they have to think about. And if they can just get somebody who just does it for them, they're like relieved. So they can get you a lot of experience. Smaller businesses, unfortunately, with paid traffic, they can be kind of stingy because they're like, well, we have our website that gets us traffic or referrals or whatever, and you don't want to have to like convince them that paying for traffic is worth it. You know, you have to find somebody who already wants that. I think. Again, I'm not the expert on local clients, but um, what I think is an easy sell for local businesses is social media stuff. So if you're like, I'll do your social media, I think all the businesses are like, they get it. They get that it's valuable. They need to do it and they don't want to do it. So you can step in and provide that service, unless it, you know, oh, yeah. So you own a business. Um, yeah. So you get it working with clients and stuff. Um, but actually, if you work, I mean, have you ever thought of offering marketing services to your clients? That would probably be a cool addition if you don't already. I always wanted to do that. That was actually the first business that I like started with my friend was a IT. That's the only job I've ever had really was working for my school's IT departments in high school and college. So I never, my friend and I like started the business when we were like 18 or whatever. And we each kind of, it never really became a business, but I did have a bunch of jobs doing IT for people in my community. And it was really cool. God, I was doing a bunch of stuff over here too. Well, yeah, if you are connected to other local businesses through your IT stuff, um, you know, starting off by offering some either Google My Business or social media packages, I think would be a good way to get like to open the conversation about marketing. And then for the ones who seem like they get it, you could be like, hey, if you really want to like scale up your business, um, so if you start out with SEO, Google My Business specifically, that's like, you know, Google My Business. Again, I don't know much about it, but one of my previous clients did a lot with Google My Business, and um, that is a way to turn a business from like, you know, it's a thing that you do like once or rarely, but it has like this huge generative effect on their business. It goes from like they don't get any online stuff to getting lots or some, and then they're like, yeah, I did it, because a lot of people don't know how Google My Business works. So if you spend a month, just kind of watching all the YouTube videos, read ebooks, whatever, maybe buy a course, um, like you could do like Skillshare or um, something like that to just take all the courses on Google My Business and kind of get like a good grasp on it. I I think that's an easy um, package to offer. Like I said, paid ads, small businesses, they're kind of hesitant to spend money. They need it to return an ROI, which is always tough as a consultant to be like under that much pressure, because you have to offer a fee on top of their ad spend. So they're like, okay, well, I've never spent any money on ads, and now all of a sudden I'm spending, a couple $1,000s on having you, plus I'm spending another couple thousand just to try to get some business that I already get. But if you start with social media, then you just do like, okay, it's $1,000 or whatever, and I'll just do all your social media. Okay, great. I don't have to think about that. Yeah, I think at least $1,000 a month, depending on the business. And again, don't try to pitch it to like the businesses that don't have much money. The ones that are doing better, uh, you could find a low level kind of thing that would still be worth your time, where you like, uh, well, oh, man, I got a bunch of ideas. There was this course that I went through a while ago. Let me see if I can find it. Uh, let's see. What's that called? See if I can find it. That's it. Uh, there it is. Okay. What people pay for that service? Yeah, you'd have to like look around a bit for like Google My Business and stuff. Um, yeah, you can do a lot of creative stuff with restaurants, social media, and basically look for, I would say look for businesses that the the transformation will be like really impactful. It'll go from they have nothing to they have something. Not a business where you're like, you don't want to go in and promising like, I'm going to get you X amount of ROI or whatever, because then they're going to be like, staring at you the whole time, and like you need room to breathe as a marketing consulting. You need time, you need trust, and they need to, here's, I think you should just say, here's my flat rate, and find the people for whom that service that you're offering is like worth your time. Not, which means don't make it super hard. Don't be like, okay, I'm gonna go, for a $500 a month, I'm gonna do everything for them. Don't do that to yourself. Well, again, you know that because you work with clients. That was really hard for me. So set a fair rate for yourself and say, this company doesn't have any SEO and I will give them some, or they don't have a Google My Business profile, or they don't know how it works. I will set it up for them once, and that can be worth $1,000, um, but then that gets you in the door and they go, hey, you have more of this stuff. That was great. We're starting to get 20 calls a month or whatever. Or just think of something that if you're IT oriented, you can think of like really systematic things, something that's not going to be like your new job stacked on top of your other jobs. It's just like a system. So you say, every month you get, like I knew a company that was charging $1,500 a month for one blog article a month, because they work with brick and mortar businesses that get, every ounce of like SEO traffic is worth a lot to them. They were like plumbers and dentists and stuff, but $1,500 a month for one blog article. And that's because this company would put a lot of effort into those blog articles. They would be really good. They'd be well researched, well written, all that stuff. But that's the kind of thing you can charge, which I think is kind of crazy. $1,500 a month for a blog article. So yeah, the basic concept is get your foot in the door as a marketing thing, and then build. Provide one service. Do Google My Business. They're like, okay, this is great. I've always wondered, how do you get your little, business to show up in Google, and we've never had it, and now it's there, and this is awesome, and now people are calling us, and you can show stats too. You can track, when you set up their account, you'll be like an admin or whatever, and you can track like how many clicks they get every month from Google My Business or something, and so it'll be tangible, and they'll be like, wow. And you have to be cool with it too. You have to be like, all right, I was paid fairly for that time. If they drop me from now on, I still was paid fairly, but maybe they keep you on, and you just keep building a relationship. Say, yeah, you know what? I've put together this little social media package. Basically do the same thing we did for you with Google My Business. I'll just set up your Facebook page, and I'll make sure it's all optimized for SEO, whatever. I'll make sure all your buttons are, going to link to your website, or, whatever. And also, I'll do 10 posts a month for you or something, or like one post a week. Like, don't make it crazy. Don't overpromise all this crazy stuff. I charge like $1,000 a month. And then you have a few of those, and then you get some cash flow for little time commitments. And then you can start investing in more paid traffic. And the best clients of those will want more services from you. Yeah, I would start with the low-hanging fruit ones that just overpower, deliver. Google My Business, Facebook. Yeah, TikTok. None of the businesses know how to do TikTok right now. Like, wide open. The thing I like about, okay, now I'm talking about all this stuff. I would even say when you get into the ads service, start with Facebook ads. Because I found that trying to sell Google ads is like, you got to convince people, which is never good. And the ones who already know that it's valuable, they already know that it's probably like their bread and butter already. So with Facebook ads, people know they need it. A free rate, I would say maybe for your first couple, but make it a contained project. Like, you're going to be like this might be bad advice. I haven't worked with a ton of clients, but so this might be terrible advice, and you go look at other people. But I would say it's okay to do a couple projects for low or free just to get your experience and get your own confidence, but make it really contained, like something you can do in an hour or something. That just don't do their whole Google My Business for free. Absolutely not. But, you know, I'll build you a template website that you get from ClickFunnels or Builderall or something. You could do that. Or um, I will put together a lead capture page for you, a template. Again, something very simple. You can do that for free and say, hey, if you want you know, the site, you can have it. But just so you know, I do all this other stuff. Or something like that, you know? Like, if you're gonna do something free, make it contained. So after an hour, you're done. You're no more obligations, no answering their support or anything like that. It's just an exchange. Don't do ads for free. Definitely not. It's not gonna be good for either party. Um, but just for your own confidence. But I guarantee if you're already interested in marketing, you know more than some business owners know at all. Like they don't know they might not know what it's called to get your business listed on Google. They don't know what it's called, Google My Business, and then it's a whole little subset of stuff. They they've heard of SEO or they've been scammed by, a lot of business owners are like scarred about SEO. It's like a painful word because somebody sold them like a listing on a yellow pages thing 12 years ago that was supposed to be SEO and they never saw a result from it. So SEO can be hard, I think, too. But anyways, I was going to send you this thing. Yeah, exactly. At least, like, I think this is probably even bad advice to say $500 a month, but if it's a very contained service, then at least $500 a month. Probably want to start more at 1,000, but um, no, that's true. You, it's not rude. It's just where that business is at. If they're struggling to like keep their doors open and stuff, obviously they need marketing, but that's not it's not your job to like have to save them. Like they're gonna have to find that somewhere. But if you come to some businesses, they have money. They just haven't put much attention on their marketing because they're already doing fine or whatever. But a lot of business owners know they want to get into this stuff. They just don't have time. So you're kind of stepping in and saying, I've already put in the time, or I'll put the time in for you. But yeah, this thing I linked is a course I came across. It's kind of pricey, but I thought it was brilliant, the system. And this might be something you might be interested in doing too with your current business, is looking into web host reselling. So it's kind of like affiliate marketing, but you are the bridge between your clients and the web hosting company. But you probably know all about this stuff, but I was I was like, whoa, this is really cool. Um, you basically set up a package where these businesses will get their website through you, and you're going through Bluehost or HostGator or whatever, but they bill you or you bill them. You know what I mean? Like you're like an in between. So it's a reseller. It's like a tried and true business. But for an IT business, I feel like that could be something you could really get into, the website part. Again, that's something that business owners, if they don't have a website, they know they need one. They just don't know how to do it. So you like, hey, I'll build your website for you, and it's $40 a month. They don't know that you're, then buying that from Bluehost for $3 a month, and then from there, so many things you can start adding on. What this course does is he teaches you how to set up a system that's like almost fully automated. The only thing that it needs is like a little bit of support, but it basically like, so he's actually marketing. He has a company where he markets website hosting to small IT companies like yours. I assume it's smallish. Um, so you might say like, Jesse IT, whatever. So you would go to this website and you would say, I need a website, but I don't want to build it myself. And you go to this website and there's like a bunch of templates you can choose from. You're like, oh, those look really nice. They're specifically designed for computer repair businesses. They use WordPress and everything. So you like sign up for one of the templates that looks really nice. He has built some plugins that will automatically like populate your website with the stuff that an IT business needs that you can go tweak. And the theme looks nice because it's made for IT stuff. And you pay him for your hosting and for your template. And he basically becomes like this mini hosting company for IT businesses. So it's just an interesting idea that I think you could do. Like you could, with your clients, you could be like, charge them $50 a month or whatever to just host a website. They don't need to think about it at all past that. You know that they only need a 3-page website with their services on it. Once you're getting like recurring revenue from doing their hosting, which you don't have to build your own server and everything. You just buy it from Bluehost or whoever you like, resell it, and now they have a website with you. And then you go, hey, for another $200 a month, you can get this SEO package, and they'll be like, yeah, sure, that sounds good. And then you apply some SEO techniques to their website, or you install a couple plugins that will help their SEO. But yeah. Anyways, not to distract you from your affiliate marketing dreams, but sometimes it can be really helpful to start where you already have like a flow of money coming your way. You can very easily leverage that to build your income, especially with like passive systems and stuff. So then you can take that extra money and invest it in either courses or campaigns, just testing stuff. Or I guess this originally started with getting your foot in the door with running ads for people. So who I was really talking about there was like big companies joining one of their like advertising teams. Even as a freelancer, like if they're doing a lot of sales already, that's a good one to buy to do ads for. If you want to do just ads, pretty well versed in hosting. Yeah, great. Most business owners are not, So people don't want to dive into the tech weeds like us, They don't want to learn how servers work or learn how to write code, or they just want their website to work. And yeah, exactly. And you've got something, you've got a business. That's awesome. That's a lot of people are struggling to go from nothing to something. You already have something. And if you like that business, you can build it, which will give you more resources to build other income streams. And you're learning the skills too. Like if you learn how to get recurring revenue to your IT business, like if you were doing that website rehosting thing, that's just pure passive income. That just grows, not only relieves your expenses and stuff and gives you some more cash, but it actually makes your business more valuable. Nice. Yeah. Well, okay, here's a crazy thought. your big long-term goal is to be a digital marketing guy working from home, why don't you start with your own business? I just thought of this too. I was like, I was like learning all these programming things. These I'm just like barely starting programming. I'm starting to learn the basics, and I was like, why don't I apply them to my own business, like my affiliate marketing business? Why don't I bring those? Why don't I use my marketing skills for myself, or use my programming skills for myself? So what if you started by treating your own business as a client? You were like, what would I do to grow an IT business with digital marketing? Like, do you have a Google My Business all set up and optimized? Do you know how the ins and outs of Google My Business? Are you putting out TikToks in your area? Hey, what's up? We have another person joining us. Task. Um, didn't think I'd catch you streaming. Is this going to be uploaded? I don't know. I tried. I tried to set up another stream earlier and I screwed that up. So I might have clicked the right or wrong buttons. But yeah, we're just hanging out. I'm not like presenting anything. I'm just thought it'd be cool to have a place for people to work together, basically. Of course, we're talking about marketing. I'm talking to Jesse right now about possibly some ideas for either getting into paid ads, but also we were talking about using digital marketing to grow his business. And Jesse, by the way, I'm always like open to people not wanting to, you know, if you don't want to, if you're like, hey, this is just a job, or like this business is not my passion, so whatever, I get that. But I'm just saying, you have a place to apply these things that you're learning right now. You might be like, well, how do I sell a local service on TikTok? Well, go Google how to sell local services on TikTok. I think, you could probably build a TikTok account that's all about like your area and just start putting out IT stuff, like help people with their IT problems. And then start to build a little following for local IT help, and or something like that. Or just run ads. Just run TikTok ads for your business. Be like, choose a geographic um, filter or whatever for the TikTok ads, which I'm guessing they have, and just run ads in your local area, or Facebook. Do Facebook local ads and just be like, see how that works, just to test it out. Then you can write it off, as investments in your business, um, and you might actually get tangible results from that. Like, wow, I spent $100 and I got 3 new, website clients that are paying me $500 a month to do their websites or whatever. But yeah, think of your own business as your client. Just see what ideas come up. What would you do if your client came to you and said, I want to grow this IT business with digital marketing? I bet you know, because you're into digital marketing. So, task unique. What are you up to? Are you in the? I'm guessing you're into marketing if you're following my channel at all. I'm also doing some work too, so kind of thought it'd be like a Zoom call. Let's see. To be honest, I subbed a while back after finding your vids giving basic affiliate marketing tips. I fell off now, but always appreciated your wisdom and didn't expect to stream. Um, that makes two of us. I appreciate you. Uh, I'm glad whatever I said a couple of years ago was helpful. Yeah, we all take different paths, and I didn't expect to be streaming anytime soon either. But I just thought of this idea to do a coffee and marketing chat, and thought it might be fun. I find that I just working alone all the time. I'm like, it'd be kind of nice if I just knew there were other people in our virtual room, just like working together. Um, did you ever get into affiliate marketing then? Right now, I'm submitting sitemaps to Google Search Console. If any of that makes sense for SEO stuff. Tried push ads and native ads, but didn't feel passionate about the work. I was maybe 21 at the time, now 23. I applied to UNC Chapel Hill here in North Carolina. I'm taking a different path now. Hey, that's awesome. Um, I thank you, Jesse. I don't know how to do that yet, but maybe I will. Thank you. Um, try push ads. Yeah, Jesse was talking about push ads too. I've never actually tried them. Um, native ads I did do, not for myself, but the company I worked for when I first learned to do paid traffic. We were in the dating niche, and it was like really hard to buy traffic. So we were using native ads, and that was a wild ride. Holy cow. Luckily, we were already very successful, making a lot of money because our budgets were crazy for native ads. I've always been intimidated to try it by myself because it's like I used to spend huge amounts of money. But Jesse, we were talking about earlier, the game is always the same. It's always test a whole bunch of different traffic, and then some of it works better, and then you keep narrowing it down until you find the stuff that works. That's it. That's like every single traffic strategy is that. So with native ads, it was first service, right? Like we used Taboola back then and Gravity. I think Gravity's gone, but I tried Outbrain. I didn't never got Outbrain to work, but Taboola was working really well for us, but it took a lot of testing. It took like 10 grand or something just for us to find like one placement on one website that worked. And but then it worked great. Once you get that winner, you know, it just keeps working. Uh, so yeah, I think I spent like $100,000 or something over a few months with that, working for that company. So native ads is crazy, and I know you can scale really high with that, but you gotta have. I think you have to have big pockets. I took a native ads course a while ago, and it was like maybe would have cut down on that because it used spy tools to figure out like which placements and stuff probably work already. But yeah, you're good. You're young. You've got plenty of time to figure this stuff out. The landscape will keep changing. There'll be new strategies and techniques. Um, and yeah, I think it's good to like set up a nice base of uh, education, like whatever you're interested in. You've got plenty of time to figure out all this other stuff. Um, and yeah, I think it's great. And it's definitely easy to not feel passionate about sending clicks to random offers, especially because the offers that work sometimes are just like not exciting. And it's kind of sad sometimes to see what works. Like you just kind of, I think it's hard to be passionate about the offers, but you can get passionate about the process. You can be like, this is really cool to use technology to, you know, see these big marketing trends or to, uh, you have to kind of be interested in the tech side, I think, like to do that kind of media buying stuff. Because, yeah, the offers are usually not that great, but they just have really good copywriting and really good marketing. Um, so it's kind of different. I've never tried push ads, though. I think the offers that work on those must be really lowbrow, like submitting email things to make a buck or whatever. But hey, if you like the process and that's exciting to you, then that's your passion. Um, how do you set up a super chat? You probably have to pick that ahead of time, or maybe I'm not big enough to have that yet. Yeah, I was intimidated by the native ads, especially after seeing the amount of money you needed just to test and eventually scale up a winning campaign. Yeah, exactly. I've been intimidated too. I've never tried it myself. I know like Liam James K made a course a while ago, but he already had like tons of passive income coming from software, builder all and stuff that he built through social media. So he started with what's free to create the traffic first, and then he built up passive income, and then he could, you know, I think he shared a couple of times he was making whatever 30, $40,000 a month or something with builder. Also, it's like if you have that much money to test and you're not afraid of it going away, then yeah, you can get into any traffic source. You can um, have a lot of freedom to choose. But until then, you got to get more clever. Um, Paid ads is just kind of tough in general to jump into. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Liam has a really cool story. He just like called his shot. I think. I mean, seems like that. Like early on in his channel, he's like, "I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30, and I'm going to try everything to do that." And he just has. He's just every couple months he was trying a new thing. He's like, "Oh, maybe it's you know this thing, maybe it's that thing, maybe it's this thing," and he just tries everything. And every time he learns lessons and skills that teach him something about the next thing. And that's the way our careers all work. Um, you may be interested in a book called Mastery by Robert Greene, which kind of outlines that process of. Uh, I, it was cool when I first read it because I was like 25 or something, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do. Um, Again, like passion or different careers, whatever. And that book was like basically uh, saying that as you go, you collect. He called them artifacts. So every career, every job you get, even if you think it's completely unrelated to what you eventually want to do, it you gather an artifact, like a little piece, some skill you get from that thing that later on you have no idea how it's going to come into play. You might not use that skill at all for 5, 10 years, and then all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, I'm doing paid traffic, but I'm doing it for a restaurant, which I learned how restaurants work when I worked for them as a teenager. And I understand, like, because I was friends with the owner, and the owner always told me they was struggling with this. So now I use that, or like basically every thing that you do, you build something that you don't know how it's going to come into play later. Um, and I thought that was really encouraging, and I find that to be true. Like, the path doesn't always work out the way that we hope it will, but when you look back, you're like, oh wow, I'm really glad that I, you know, spent a semester taking biology classes or whatever, because now I do accounting for a biotech company, and that's really cool because it's like blending two things I'm interested in. Or I love, you understand what I'm saying? It's like, so I think seeing someone like Liam just put his journey out there was really cool because, and he's still young and has a lot to, who knows where he's going to end up, 30 years from now, he might be Elon Musk and we'll be like, huh, I watched the next Elon Musk start, um, and it started with internet marketing and whatever. So it's cool. It's cool people document their journey. I think it takes a lot of courage, and Liam has just done an awesome job. He's gotten better at making content, but he also is like a real marketer. Like, I can tell the way that he talks versus there's some people who I actually really like their channel, but I can tell they're not really that great at marketers. But because they're really good YouTubers, they make a lot of money, and then they get to do all this other marketing stuff. Um, and then they have lots of success because they're like, well, if your channel makes $20,000 or $30,000 a month, again, you have a lot of money to play with, and you can test all these ideas, and then you can be like, aha, now I'm great at native ads too. But they started with them being great at YouTube. So there's so many ways to go. Hey, thanks for Jesse says I'll have to come back and rewatch this for sure. 3 Anna Gaming says no understand language. Sorry, man. um, Thanks for joining though. If you understand what I'm saying. Says he's from Egypt. Let's see. Let's see. Is this right? Alan wa salam. Well, Jesse, if I end up doing this again, maybe it's hard to tell with me. I've recently been diagnosed with ADHD, so it kind of explains a lot of my career and my life. So I get excited about things for a while and then completely forget about them. So I hope I stay excited about this, but who knows? But either way, thanks for showing up, everybody, and spending spending a little time drinking tea or coffee or water. But our friend from Egypt sends a heart. Maybe I should translate this. I feel like Google should be translating this stuff already. Like, do we really need to do something that an algorithm can figure out? Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up, guys. But thanks for coming and thanks for hanging out. And I'll let you know. Well, I guess just watch for a notification or something to see if I end up deciding to do this again. But Jesse, I hope you got some good ideas for your business or for your affiliate marketing path. And Task Unique, I'm sure, I'm guessing that's not your real name. Just keep doing your thing. You know, you're on the path. You're good. You got plenty of time. You have the incredible power of social media and the internet to basically feed you an algorithm of nonstop, great content about whatever you want to learn. You can learn anything. I feel like it boils down to doing what you want in life and learning what you want. You never know how it'll help later on. Oh, your name is Mohammed. Awesome. Um, yeah, of course. Let's just keep following that path, and you know, I just think follow whatever you're curious about, because you win as soon as you follow that thing, because you were already interested in it, and now you get to learn about it. So it's like you already win, and anything you get on the other side of it is just bonus. But you enjoyed the time while you were learning it or becoming introduced with it. So that's a good philosophy to have, and I think that'll always point you in the right direction. Of course, there's some things you kind of have to do that aren't enjoyable, but everybody has that. Nobody escapes it. Even the people you look up to, they all have things that um, parts of their life that they don't put on social media or whatever that are less than enjoyable. Everybody has that, so there's no escaping that. So in the other time, yeah, make it about the stuff that you want to do and get closer and closer to your perfect version of that. There's a good book called The Alchemist that's like a story about somebody finding their personal journey and the process of that. You might want to check out too. I love books. I read a lot of books, so I'll probably recommend a lot if we do more of these. So, all right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great day, and keep working on those dreams.